Hi, welcome. My name is Mark Lukashevitz. I'm the Dean of the Lawrence Herbert School of Communication. And if you've ever watched Night at the Museum, we're going to kind of do Day at the Herbert School, minus students, minus faculty, but we're going to show you this terrific facility so that you can get a sense of what we do here and what we'll all be doing here when hopefully you're with us as we launch the fall term next fall. So let me first show you our little trophy case here. It's got a big 25 because we are celebrating our 25th anniversary as a communication school. You'll see the Emmy Award. We have literally dozens of Emmy Awards among our staff and faculty. We have the books down below that are just some of the books published by our faculty and scholars. And over here, we're very proud of this. This is 3 Marconi Awards. The Marconi Award is given for the best college radio station in the country by the National Association of Broadcasters. That's a professional group competing with other professional groups. 3 out of the last 5 years, our radio station has won that very prestigious award, and we're very, very proud of it. And let me show you the radio station, actually, as we begin our tour here at the Herbert School. So, and I should mention Brian Potts and his student aide Raj are with us shooting this. And Brian, if you can pan over, this is the WRHU newsroom where students gather every day to produce a morning show every weekday, to produce a news program in the afternoon, sports shows, music shows, public service shows, community programming. That's all done out of this newsroom in these studios. And we have 3 radio studios, a mixed site and then 2 proper studios. Let's walk in and have a look at one of those as I talk about it, because this isn't just for radio students. The radio station is the biggest student media organization at the school. It involves students from all across Hofstra because it's a tremendous fun experience and a tremendous learning experience for organizing work and for managing broadcasting in all its forms. So this is the first studio, and Brian, maybe you can swing around over to that side and I'll keep talking as we talk about the equipment in here. So the morning show is produced in here, the sports program is produced in here, Newsline every afternoon is produced in here, and they use some of the finest equipment available. We updated the radio station a year and a half ago to fully digital equipment, and it is extremely up to date. The equipment that these students use is the same they'll use recording podcasts or audio programming or doing film sound out in the real world. So it's a tremendous asset for the students to be able to use this. And we do a tremendous amount of programming in here, and the students love it. So WRHU, open to all students across Hofstra to apply to. You can apply now to join the station. You just go to their website. It's really one of the best things going here at the Herbert School. The audio radio students do get involved in this, and they get to use yet another facility. And Brian, maybe you'll follow me around this way, and we'll go over to our audio classroom. Because audio work is really very important in all the media industries these days. So we'll swing across the hall to our audio radio classroom, which is right over here. And Brian, maybe again, if you can swing around me to show some of the equipment. This is equipped with Pro Tools. So that's one of the top, in fact, the top software for audio production in film particularly, but also in music. This is the classroom where students learn how to use those tools with this equipment. And through the window there to Brian, to your left, you'll see a mixed studio where we can bring in bands, we can bring in speakers, and the students can really learn and practice multi-track recording, multi-track audio production, all in this facility. You'll see a lot of Macs around. The Macs are all updated regularly, and this building is fully equipped with both Mac and PC labs to do the various parts of work that the students need to do. Okay, let's keep going on this night day at the Herbert School tour. We're going to head out into the hallway here and talk a little bit about our journalism, media studies, and public relations department. So that's one of the 2 departments in the school. This wall celebrates the work of the journalism students who do a variety of kinds of work on a variety of platforms. These are some of the pictures that celebrate that. This is one of my favorites. We did a big project for the midterm elections called Hofstra Votes Live. We're going to be doing another project like that for the fall presidential election. This is a trip to New York that happens every summer with mostly public relations students, but also journalism and media studies students. Here you can see one of our radio stations interviewing a New York Islander, because I forgot to mention this at the radio station. Sports is a big part of the radio station. Sports journalism is a big part of our school. The radio station is the only college radio station in the country that handles a professional sports franchise. So anywhere in the world, if you're listening to the New York Islanders on the radio, you're listening to a broadcast being produced out of that room by our students. It's a very unique opportunity for students to get involved in professional broadcasting at the highest level. This is the News Hub, and let me walk you in here. This is our multimedia newsroom. We do journalistic work here. We do classes and guest speakers in here. This became our decision desk and newsroom for the election in 2018 and will be again in 2020. This was updated a number of years ago. We have all the equipment, all the space here to do a whole variety of media work as the media universe evolves in all kinds of new directions. So we're very proud of this space. It also tends to be a student lounge, honestly, where students get together and work on their projects, and they like being here. So we're delighted to have this space for them. So let's move on. I should mention in the public relations program also this year, for the first time, we have a student-run public relations agency. It's called the Swing Agency. It opened this year. It does real public relations work for real clients out in the world, and it's an entirely student-run operation. We're going to walk down this hallway to a wall that celebrates our travel and study away programs. Now, obviously, in the current situation, those programs can't happen, but we're very hopeful that those will get underway again. We have, for the school itself, in addition to other programs at the university, we have a program in Rome every summer, a program in Cuba during the winter, a program in Los Angeles every winter, and a summer program in New York City where students go and live in Manhattan for a week. As I said, those are suspended for the time being, but we're very hopeful of getting those going again. The students have a tremendous experience doing that, and as communications gets global, we need to be celebrating that. This is one of my favorite parts of the school. It's a motto that says, "Great stories happen to those who tell them." This is a school of storytelling, and that's what we're about here, and we like students to see that as much as possible. If you walk over this way, I talked a little bit about the student media operations we have. Every one of these tiles on this wall represents a student media production of some sort, whether it's a newspaper, a website, a club, a television program, a film festival. All of this is student-operated, student-run. We believe tremendously in you getting a chance to make media and tell stories here, and our student organizations step up to give you that opportunity. So let's walk down this way and show you our equipment room. We've talked about the fact that the school really thrives on student production, students telling stories. This is the equipment room that houses all the equipment, and Brian can show you that they do that with, whether it's the Ursa Mini or the television, the Panasonic, primarily television cameras. We also have 3 ARRI Alexa cameras, which are brand new, and that is the premier film camera in the world right now. And 80% of Oscar productions have been produced with that camera. We have those cameras for our students here. So we're very proud of that. Let's walk you to one of our studio spaces. So this is Studio A. Come on in here, Brian, and let's show folks this studio. We're very proud of this. This is 3,800 square feet, 3 stories tall. This is as big as the biggest studio available in the CNN complex worldwide. Our students get to work in a space like this, and it's tremendously well equipped. If you look over here, you'll see the television cameras, which we use for multi-camera productions. They're all 4K HD cameras. We also have a jib over here, which Brian can show you. A jib is becoming a standard piece of equipment in a lot of television studios. Our students get to work with that. And you'll see here one of the several sets under construction that our students are going to be using for film production. So there are film productions in here, there are multi-camera live television productions in here, all sorts of projects can happen in this space. And this is just one of 3 studios we have in this building. It's unusual to have a space this size for students to be able to work with, and we're very proud that they get that chance, that you will get that chance in this facility. So let's go to another studio, which is just across the hall, and I'll take you to that. That's Studio B. We can walk this way, Brian and Raj. We'll take you through here. So this is Studio B. Studio B is mainly used for our news and information and talk programming. And we just renovated it this January. Again, we're very proud of this spot. This is where Hofstra News Now is produced. This is where Hofstra Today is produced. This is where Sports Beat is produced. And any other productions the students want to do, either in their classwork or extracurricular work. Boy, I got that word wrong. Extracurricular work. This is a modern news and information and television production facility. Whether it's the screens behind me or the desk in front of me or all the technology that powers this room, students get a real-world experience by working in here in real production situations. And this is another part of the resources of the school. And as I say, this is just the second of 3 studios. We're not going to have time to show you the third, which is primarily used for film. So a little bit further here, we'll take another bit of a walk. We're almost done. We're not able to show you the classrooms because we want to try to keep this relatively brief for you. I do want to mention as we walk along this wall, this is my advisory board. Having active alumni and having people really willing to support the school who are in the profession already is a tremendously important part of what we do. And we have a great set of people, whether it's Steveland Wilson. Steveland is the founder of Line 9 Productions. He is now the vice president of production at the XFL. He's the chair of my board. Eric Lempel here, who is the West Coast chair of my board, because we have a lot of people on the West Coast, basically runs PlayStation worldwide. So we have a tremendous set of alumni and supporters who help our students and help our faculty make sure that our curriculum is relevant to what's going on in the world. You've seen the 2 studios. Let me show you one of the 2 control rooms. Each studio has its own control room. You're going to hear the noise of the equipment a little bit here, Brian, but I'll try to speak up. But this is a first-rate, professional-grade, modern control room where students will learn how to produce multi-camera television with the graphics that go with it, with all the control equipment. There's an audio booth that goes with this as well. Every room has its own audio control. And whether you as a student intend to sit at a console like this as part of your career, whether or not that's your plan, knowing how this works, knowing how it affects the creative process, knowing what's possible with equipment like this is a big part of the advantage we think we can deliver to you here at the Herbert School. So this board gets very busy, particularly in the spring semester, as all of our students are doing their final productions. So let's keep walking, Brian. And we'll take you down this way. Another control room here, that's for the Studio B control, similar thing. And the audio room next to it. Again, we talked about those audio skills elsewhere. That all comes into play here. So we're going to go upstairs now. Just climb 1 flight of stairs to see a couple of other things I think you ought to see. But on the way, I do want to point out this internship board. Every brand on this wall represents a place that one of our students has interned in the last year or 2. Our average student does 3 internships in the course of their career here. Some do many more than that. And all of these companies host our interns. We're very proud of our internship program. We have resources devoted to making sure we can get meaningful internships going for all of our students who want them. And this is a representation of just some of those experiences that our students have. Okay, Brian, let's head upstairs. We're going to try walking upstairs with the camera going. That'll be fun. As we walk upstairs, we're going to be going to a film finishing facility. You know, a lot of people think that what happens in film basically happens in the camera. But in fact, some of the most important work that happens in making a movie is post-production. And we have a very good facility for post-production. So our students not only get to work with professional-grade equipment in the field after they've written their screenplays, but they get to post-produce the film to a high degree of professionalism. So here are some shots of just some of our student filmmakers doing their student films over the last little few years. And as you can see, they're sophisticated productions. In their senior capstone films, they tend to hire actors, hire locations, really make it count. But they have to post-produce all that footage, and they do that in here. So let's go inside. And this is our film finishing lab. And Brian's going to adjust the lighting because it's intentionally quite dim in here. But basically what happens in here is student filmmakers are able to use this facility and this console of equipment to color correct and to audio mix their film. It's a very important part of the process. There are chairs here so that their fellow producers, their directors of photography, their lighting director, the director of the film, they can all be in one room polishing the work that they see on the screen. A big part of the polishing is creating the audio, because the audio to a film often isn't recorded out in the field where it happens. So maybe somebody threw a rock in a film. You need to duplicate that sound. You do that in a space like this. This is a Foley lab. The Foley lab allows the student editor to display the film over here on a monitor, and then they use the sound effect tools available in this room to create that sound effect. So they would watch that piece of film, and at the moment that the rock needs to be thrown, they'd throw the rock, record the sound, mix it into the movie. All sorts of sound effects available here, from fabrics to crunchy materials to slippery materials. This is a Foley audio lab. It exists in every film post-production house in the world, not in every communication school, but here at the Herbert School we do have it, and it gets very busy. One more thing I want to show you, and then our tour will be complete. Our facility allows for video and film editing in two formats, Adobe Premiere and Avid. Those two tools are available across the enterprise, and we have two big labs where we teach that editing, and this is one of them. This is our Avid Edit Lab. So film students and television students learn in one of these two rooms how to use their editing equipment with a professor who's expert in that art. And they can spend as much time as they like in here after hours and in individual edit suites, learning how to edit their films, learning how to post-produce the content they need. So that concludes our tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. There's some other things I couldn't show you. I want to mention one thing. We have a terrific little view book for the school that you should have received in the mail by now, but if you didn't, please reach out to me and we will get one to you by snail mail, by email, by whatever way we should. If you want to reach out to me, I'm at Dean Luke. That's at DEANLUK on Twitter or other social media. Just reach out to me, direct message me. I'll be right back at you with some information because we'd love to see you here. We'd love to see you here in the fall when things normalize again, as I'm confident they will. And we'd love to welcome you to the class of 2024. Thank you.